Awesome. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to be on the mic just because some parents can't have busy schedules, and so we'll record it for them. And I know it's less personal, but sorry about that. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I think the kind of type of trip that we're doing, like less people will go because of like what we're doing, right? Usually the fun stuff like Rock the Block gets all the students coming, but this is for the committed like core students, and so I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm really excited just to be on a rotating missional mindset youth group I feel like for me, I went to Uganda when I was a sophomore in high school, and which was wild as a sophomore, but I went into it thinking I was going to do so much for the gospel and Jesus, and I realized Jesus did so much in me. I came back and looked at my home differently. So that's kind of like the purpose of this trip. So this year I've chosen to do this mission trip through an organization called Leader Treks. Leader Treks, they've been running mission trips since 1994. I actually met the founder of Leader Treks, Doug Franklin, at a youth ministry conference. He was a really nice guy. And he goes to the same church as my professor at Moody. So in the world of Christ's kingdom is really small. So that's kind of cool. And they have mastered the craft of using mission trips as a classroom for developing students into leaders. That's kind of like the whole thing, is developing students into leaders. That it's not just for the immediate effect of the mission trip, but it's to grow them into stepping up in leadership. So Leader Treks is a student leadership development ministry that uses trips to help students identify their personal leadership skills. And so who are passionate about, so these people are just so passionate about the next generation. And I figured, instead of, like, this is my first mission trip, I'm going with other youth pastors who have done a lot, like Pastor Josh, he's our East Jordan youth pastor, and Pastor Zach up at Lansing. So they're coming with me, which is really nice as my first time getting my sea legs. And also doing it with a trusted organization who really knows how to run these trips effectively. So where we're going to Aurora, Illinois. On the website, it will say Chicago, but I've lived in Chicago, and I know that this place is not Chicago. Aurora is like an hour and a half west of Chicago. And so that's where the bulk of what we're doing, where we're going to be. And we're going to go to the suburbs of Chicago, helping and serving in different ministry contexts. So we're going to go, I think an examples of this is Feed My Starving Children. They're a ministry that helps feed children around the world, and they have cool group projects that we can do and pack food. And also By the Hand is an inner city children's ministry. So it's kind of like a vacation Bible school. So we'll do that. There's Pan de Vida is a food pantry, and that's run by New Life Community Church. So the lead pastor of that church was the president at Moody Bible Institute, Mark Job. So so a lot of different different opportunities. Because like I said, living in Chicago for so long, you can meet anyone around the world. And I feel like for us, students at Walloon YM, being in northern Michigan, we don't get that all the time. A majority of people just have lived there their whole lives, and that's okay. But I think this opportunity is going to be great for intercultural experience. I felt, so I was joking to my bosses. I'm like, yeah, instead of youth versus wild, this will be youth versus like Aurora, youth versus Chicago, I think this is a good challenge. And why? Because, I think right now the youth ministry is growing, not just growing in numbers in superficial ways, but students are growing very deep in their faith right now, and they're very committed. Like we have a ton of high schoolers every Sunday morning studying God's Word, getting serious, and Mr. Cole is leading the charge in that, and it's really exciting. But I think this mission trip is a great next step for us. Does anyone have any questions on where we're going and why? When? That's a great question. Yeah, so June 15th to the 21st. June 15th to the 21st. So yeah, so actually, y'all have notes, I believe, parent meeting notes. So if you want to take notes, or that's there for you. Yeah. So yeah, what we will leave. That's a great question. I don't know the specific times yet. I just know we will leave like Sunday afternoon, and then we'll get back Saturday like noonish, 2 p.m. So yeah, yeah, yeah. We had this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think we would have to communicate that because I know it's in Grand Rapids, and we're driving through Grand Rapids to get where we're going. So, yeah, 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 yeah. I guess we'll just handle that when it comes. So, yeah, but great. Yeah. So spiritual growth. Uh, every day, our team will sit down for 45 minutes to do devotionals on their own. I think we, especially the content of what we're doing on a mission trip, we just need Jesus to support us, and not only for the immediate context, but to build the habit for these students to be with Jesus every day, and because that's where our strength is coming from. And so each day they will learn a new study method, and so they'll bring that home to use for how they can do their own personal devotion times. And also a big thing for parents is safety, okay? Safety, especially how far we're going and where we're going. So Leader Treks has an impeccable record of safety. Since their inception in 1994, they have had no major accidents on their sites, any of their sites. So they do mission trips in 26 locations, and 8 different teams go to each locations every single summer. And they've been doing that since 1994, and they've had no major accidents. So, and they will have 2 paid staff members with us at all times, which is really nice for me. I don't have to handle like the nuts and bolts of where we're going and the transportation. I can just, we can just go with them, and because they're trained for 3 months before we get there. And so, so they have a safety procedure that they follow in case of emergency. All Leader Trek staff are trained in first aid and will able to handle minor cuts and bruises. But if something were to happen, there's a hospital right next to us. And so, yeah. But, yeah. Any questions on that? Safety? All good? Great. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, also the participant release forms, it's a QR code, so you can scan that for your phone. And then when you sign up for the mission trip, then you can just do that there. So, okay. So we strongly recommend and discourage students to bring their headphones and their phones. I know that's a huge, for some students, it's a huge ask. If you do want your student to bring their phone, we'll just collect it, and or you just call me in case if you need to get in contact with a student. I just think that's what they recommend, and that's what I agree with them, because I've been in trips where we had no phones, but we grow so much closer. We have no distractions. So that would be my recommendation. So if these items are brought, like I said, we encourage you to collect them, and that we'll keep them in one place for the rest of the trip. So, yeah. If in case there's emergency contact, so the church that we're going to be at, they have a contact number, or you can contact me, or you can call Leader Treks. Their number is 877-502-0699. So that's the Leader Treks phone number in case you can't get a hold of me, because we want to be easily contactable and for your student. Yeah. So yeah, also there's a packing list in your in there too. Just it says an alarm clock apparently. That's really old school, but I think we'll be fine. I'll get them all up with the trumpet. Yeah. 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 What? Oh no. Yeah. So there'll be 5-to-1 students to leaders, and all leaders will have their phones. Yeah. Phone. Yeah. Yeah. So, Mm-hmm. Yeah. The goal, what they require is that we will get 15 students and leaders, not including leader trek staff, or 15 to 25. 15 students. So, sorry, I'm not good at math. 5 to 1, three. Thank you. 3 to 4. Yeah, around there. No, not including the leader trek full-time staff. Yeah, 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 yeah. And Faith will come too. So, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if Zach will come, just because he's very part-time and he has a full-time job. So we'll see about that. But yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think I mean more. I always say, like, there could be a sense of too many cooks in the kitchen, but I think there's always room for more parents to come if they would want. So yeah, but yep. Any other questions on that? No. Yeah. So 25 is the max students and leaders, not leader trek staff. Okay. Which jumping the gun, but we're gonna have applicants. So your child is not once they like sign up is not they're not officially going. You have to go through an application process, and then a council of leaders, including myself, will make those decisions. Just because this trip is serious, and for some of our students, I would love that they applied, but some of them are just not ready, and that's totally okay. And I'll handle those when they come. So, and also give them okay, here's what you got to do now for you to be ready someday, because the serious ones don't want to be disrupted by the non-serious ones and cause mayhem. If that makes sense. But yeah, and also it's a council of leaders because I don't want to make that call by myself. So yeah, but yeah, yeah. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think this. So it's not just going on a trip for 7 days, but we will also have 5 different meetings before the trip, just once we know the team. So this is kind of like the layout of what's going to happen. So we're having this meeting now. Thanks for being here. We'll have other meetings that covers different content. I'll do like quick stuff if they didn't come the last time, but that'll be so it's mid-November, mid-December, and then early January. Those are the next 2 parent meetings. And then we'll have applications in. Deadline's probably like end of January. And by mid-February, we'll make those decisions, make the team. And once we have the team set, then we're going to have team building exercises and also going over leadership. And so we kind of want to build it into like the teaching and the growing process, that they're growing not just on the mission trip, but before. And then we'll do stuff after the mission trip as well as a debrief. Yeah. So I just want to give you like the whole layout of what we're doing. So yeah. Any questions? Also, they have top 8 parent questions. I think that was really cool of them to put in. Yeah. Oh, I didn't go over cost yet. So okay. So here's how cost works. The church already paid for this trip to happen, so we're booked for it. But so the cost will be around $545 for the whole trip. And honestly, in comparison to mission trips I've been on, it's really cheap. It's super cheap. But we're working with all parents from different situations, and so this is kind of how we're going to do this. So we're going to split it up into thirds. So a third of it will be fundraisers here at the youth ministry that the team will do. A third of it will be writing support letters to your family and friends. I'm personally convicted, like Paul, he wrote a ton of New Testament books. He wrote support letters for his missionary journeys, and I think it was really, grew me in my faith when I had to put myself on the line with my family and friends, saying, no, this matters to me, and this is why. So a third of it would be support letters, and then a third of it would be from your own students' pockets, just because when you pay attention, right? so it should cost a little bit from the students' part as well. So that's how we will handle cost. And the deadline for that, so it'll be $100 to deposit to secure your spot on the mission trip. So when you get certified that you're on the team, you'll deposit $100 there, and then we have to get all your costs 30 days before the trip. So June 15th. So that's like May 15th. We have to have all your deposits in before then. So I'll make a deadline. I haven't gone that far yet, but yeah. So that's how cost will work. Yeah. Give me ideas for fundraisers, by the way, because I love ideas for that. So, what? Yeah, spring fundraisers. Snow removal, yeah, spring cleanup. Yeah, there's a lot of ways we can go. We had a parent board meeting, we talked about that, and so, yeah. But all right, I think that's about it. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. Yeah. As the mission, yeah. So honestly, I kind of like the overarching view is what we do as a youth ministry is we try to do local. So we did service projects last year. It was a local mission trips, but then the second year is out of state or bigger places, and then the third will be out of the country mission trips. So we already have a plan for that for the third year. It's just to get the students here in high school a taste of a little bit of each, if that makes sense. And also, it's like a growth thing. So why Aurora? Honestly, I just have experience with those suburbs. So I kind of just made the call on that. And also, Leader Treks. I met the founder. He was I could tell it was like a good organization. So that's kind of why. Yeah. I'm very thankful that we're 3 locations, 1 church, because that means I work with 2 other youth pastors. And so when it comes to big events like Cyber Night, where you throw turkeys 50 feet, or when it comes to mission trips or vision, it's really nice to have that support, and we can support each other in that and do it together. So. The Aurora area. Yeah, and Faith grew up in Plainfield, which is like 30 minutes from Aurora. So even for her, it's kind of her hometown and stomping grounds, as some would say. But yeah, Kristen. Yeah. It would be a reapplication process. Yeah. But yeah, they stay at a church in Aurora. That's kind of where So that church has 8 different groups coming throughout the summer. And so, they're on board. So we'd sleep at the church. Yeah. And a cool thing that they have the students do, we all make our own meals together. So every single meal of the day, we have to work together. Students have to work together to make the meals. Apparently, as they do that, it actually becomes a lot of fun. It's like competition at the end. So, yeah. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually have a connection. Yeah, I have a connection to something 2026. Yeah, I have a connection through my home church and to another place. But yeah, I'm 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 trying not to say that because I don't want students to be like, oh, I'm not going to come to this one. I just want to go to the cool one, or cool, quote unquote. So, yeah, but yeah, yeah, we're working on that under, um, yeah, it's a long term thing. Yeah. But I'm personally really excited just to be doing mission trips yearly. I think it's so important for us to do that. So, yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. So yeah, it'll be incoming 8th into ninth graders who are invited, and all the way to graduating seniors. So that's kind of like, so next year's freshmen all the way over to graduating seniors. But yeah. 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 So anything else, or should we wrap up? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any other questions, just email me or call me. Yeah, I'll get back to you. So yeah. All right. Let me pray, and then we can close. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this upcoming mission trip, God, and I pray that Lord, that you'll put the right students to apply, Lord, and that God, that we'll trust in you in that process of who should come and who should not come. And Lord, that you know everything. You're in control of everything, and Lord, you care for them so much. And God, I pray that you'll be with these students as they go on mission in Aurora, Illinois, and not just do your work, but let the work of God be reach completion in them, and as they grow in their faith, Lord, and to trust in you more. So I'm really excited, and Lord, and just thank you for being in this meeting and being in our conversations. So we love you. We give you thanks. Amen.